Good afternoon, live from Houston, Texas. Today's topic is what can I do after my visa was refused? Good afternoon. My name is John Ting. I'm your host with greencardguys.tv. And welcome to the show. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe down below and smash the like button. I already know you're going to love the content and how we share the information here on Green Card Guys TV. We are here to save and solve your immigration problem. And if there's a way we can prevent it from happening in the first place, I am very happy. So for you. Now, here's the deal. When your visa is refused, I can I am not in your shoes, but I can imagine that is very frustrating because it can mean actually several things. And I'll show you what it states on the government website, Department of State. But one thing is you can fight, okay? Because they don't do administrative processing, okay? 221G, they don't state it like that anymore. They changed it about a year ago. But here's the deal. You might think that there are no options. Do not give up. You might think, well, I didn't do anything wrong. I never had a crime or arrest and any of my records. Why would they put visa refused? It is absolutely frustrating. We have clients who have hired us because they have visa refused for so many reasons, but those reasons are not stated on the website. So, friends, if you're interested to learn more, there's a couple different ways. Now, one way is you can give us a call, 720-740-4247, or the second thing is go to our website down below, greencardguys.com, and I'll explain more how to fill out the form, answer a couple questions there. And the third thing, if you don't have time to contact us or go to the website, I invite you to do that later on, but or fill out the form. But in the meantime, go to our website, greencardguys.com. On the homepage, you just scroll down, click on one of these guides. Okay, the most popular one, most popular, unfortunately, is the mandamus guide when there's unreasonable delays or a visa refusal situation. So check that out. And the reason why I invite you to download that is because sometimes you might not be able to stay on for the live show that long, or you don't necessarily not ready to talk with a lawyer, and that's understandable because there's so many of us out here, at least in America, or licensed in America, based on our state license. And yeah, browse around. There's a bunch of lawyers on YouTube as well, but we're here to help the way that we believe is best for our clients, and we take action. Okay, if you contact us, of course, in this kind of scenario, we'll invite you to be a client. Okay, you can pick one of our membership plans. We have three different ones: Light, Pro, and Max. The Max plan offers you as a client that we file your lawsuit within 72 hours. Now, it might take a little bit longer if we need to find a co counsel in a different area of the country, because unfortunately, it filing these lawsuits require more than a state license to practice law. It requires certification in that specific district court, federal district court. So there have been times that we've been take a little longer than 72 hours, but our intent is to file it as soon as possible because we know that you've been waiting too long already. And sometimes when people call us, they've already waited after the interview for over a year. Okay. So even if it's, a couple months, we'll look at your case. In any situation, we always verify the scenario and take a look, review it as a legal team, not even just me. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, this happens quite often. Let me see if I can pull it up on the government website, what it actually states about visa refusal. Okay. Now, if you have any questions and you're joining us, please drop it in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from. I always think it's interesting uh, how far the YouTube channel has reached. And let's see here. Okay, it's pulling up. But in the meantime, this can be for really any application, any petition that you've already applied. It can be for not just people who are abroad and waiting for the visa, or even waiting for the interview, and then um, could be for adjustment of status. You're waiting in the United States. It could be for asylum. You're waiting for the interview or the decision itself. And we've helped also people who are waiting for the interview or decision after the for the naturalization application to become a U.S. citizen. That is probably one of the they're all frustrating, okay? But especially when you're trying to become a U.S. citizen, and the government website, USCIS policy manual, actually states that you can file that they basically encourage you to file a lawsuit. If I can find that, I'll show you. But they actually encourage us to file a lawsuit and take action in federal court because when it's after 120 days and people have not received a decision. So the fact that the government shows you that, it states that in the policy manual, you should do it. Okay. Because a lot of people call us and they're, you know, we want to help as many people as we can. I know it's just depending on our capacity or your own financial budget, you might not decide to do that, but I really recommend you do. Okay, and because if you've been waiting such a long time, and especially when the government says you can do that, you can do this, this is a legal remedy. This is the last option available to you. So if you have waited such a long time and especially the government has issued you a visa refusal, and you believe, and even your attorney, if you've hired one, believes you should have been approved and granted the visa, why would you wait? Why would you think not to do this? Because the common question, the number one question we get is, well, what if they refuse my visa, or what if they deny my application? If they wanted to do that, they would have done that already. Why would they wait 2 plus years to say that, "Oh, now all of a sudden because were denied, now we'll send all of a sudden you've sued the government, now we're gonna deny your case." Sure, it could certainly that outcome, that result could happen, but it's not because of the federal mandamus lawsuit, okay? Now, of course, for us, if you contact our legal team, even though we were not your attorneys for the actual case, the actual application to begin with, we do like to take an extra precaution effort to review your case to make sure that if we file this lawsuit, will it result in a denial? Now, when it's visa refuse, for example, visa for, so anyway, that's a courtesy. Now, if you are just joining us and for the first time ever, you might not have known this, of course. We do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion, a consultation with our legal team. Now, to unlock those free 15 minutes, we do offer a secret code towards the end of the show. We usually try to stay on for 30 minutes total for now these days because I got to get back to work on case files with my team and have what we do also have is office hours with our team to verify information for clients. I don't know if you can hear my dog, but he's wanting to get out of the studio. So let me let him out real quick. All right, I'm back. So visa refusal. Okay. This is what it shows on the State Department website. Um, let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, visa denial. This is, let me see if it shows updated date. Let me increase the size here. Okay, that's what it says. After relevant information is reviewed, the application approved or denied, that's what they'll show. However, okay, this is a thing that many people are not talking about. So you want to be very cautious. Towards the end of this first paragraph, it says it may be denied because the consular officer does not have all the information required to determine if the applicant is eligible or not to receive the visa. Now, or because the information, um, or says, or because the applicant doesn't qualify anyway or not eligible at all after reviewing the entire information. Or third reason, because information reviewed indicates that the applicant falls within scope of one of the inadmissibility grounds or ineligibility grounds of the law. Now, an applicant's current and or past actions, such as drug or criminal activities, as examples, may make the applicant ineligible for a visa. Now, by the way, when they say drug, they also mean health ground reasons. Two main things. Well, one thing that people are talking about is, of course, the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine. I know a couple years ago, I was thinking everyone should take the vaccine. Believe what you will, do your own research. Of course, after a couple of years of the any kind of medicine or whatnot or shot vaccine, there's going to be more studies and more information will be revealed. So, for what it's worth, of course, you need to take the certain actions that's safe for your own body, your health. Hmm. Which comes to think of it, if that's the case, just sorry, a little political talk, then why do Republicans want to ban abortion? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Even if you live in a different country, I'm always interested how others think outside America, because it just seems a little like hypocritical if a certain party says one thing, but then later on, of course, a couple years later, they say something different, even if it's not the same topic but related. It happens all the time in American politics. Um, but anyway, then the second thing that you really need to know about inadmissibility that most people are not talking about is if you've been drinking and if you have not been drinking, if you have drank in the past, okay, you got DWI or you drank a couple months ago and you would think, oh, it's a couple months ago. Why would that be related to inadmissibility grounds? The CDC changed some rules within the past year. And you know how we feel about the CDC, any government agency that just changes flip-flops around, just like a politician. Yeah. So anyway, they made a change. Most immigration lawyers are not aware of this, but it's affecting yourself, you as an applicant. Okay. So be very careful. I'm not advocating anyone to lie, but be very careful. See, read what the CDC has said. I'm happy to post it in the comments. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. You're really, uh, oh, that's a great question. So, what's the final answer? Visa refusal or visa denial? If you're talking about 221G at Indian consulate that never replied back for years, well, Anu, that is exactly why you need to contact a lawyer who helps with mandamus lawsuits. Um, because if you're saying years and they have not replied to you, you need to take action. Okay. This is where we help with the mindset. Two, that you responded to two or three 221Gs and you never had an answer for 2 years. I bet you're very frustrated. So I don't know if you've spoken to a lawyer about mandamus lawsuits, but you really need to take action. I know not everyone has a budget for this, but especially when, I'm not sure what your 2221G notice said in terms of what you need to provide. If we welcome you to provide that a little more context. But yeah, unfortunately, very, very often, an officer, not at the interview, but later on, maybe later in the day, they'll email you and say, "Here, your case is now in 221G situation. All right, now, uh, 220G situation, and you need to provide us a document." Or they might not even ask for any documents. You're wondering, what the heck? Why isn't my case in 221G? Okay, now this is the thing. Okay, I see. So, and after you provide those documents, everyone that's called us and talked to us in a consultation, they have provided those documents, that information in a very timely manner. If not the same day, then within 24 hours. And you would think that you receive an email that you would receive an email maybe later in the week or next week to say, "Hey, go pick up your visa, go pick up your passport because the visa's in there. Congratulations." No, it's very often they don't do it like that. Now, there's a pizza company out there that has really improved their app and shown like the different stages, from when you ordered it to pizza's ready for pickup or delivery. The very timely in that fashion. Don't don't expect the U.S. government, world superpower, is going to have that efficiency to update you. Unfortunately, not. And you would think, like our own private systems, we have different labels, different categories to indicate whether what stage our own cases are located. Yeah, the government doesn't have that. Okay, it's not efficient at all, unfortunately, and it's not necessarily because um, is it because I had a bad interview with the officer? No, I mean, for the most part, most of our 99.9% of our clients have a good vibe situation with the officer. And so that's why it's even more questionable, like suspect, like why is now I'm getting a 221G just a couple hours later? Why couldn't they share that in the beginning at the interview? I don't know why they're not doing that, but that's why I think on Monday I talked about this discriminatory program that the U.S. government, of course, does not want to reveal. So some groups have to submit a FOIA for documents about that program. Yeah, the U.S. government discriminates. So unfortunately, this is one major way they delay people from getting any kind of legal status in America. Little secret here. It's not just Democrats. I'm sorry, it's not just Republicans. It's also, in general, the US government. Okay. So you might want to think about that. Even though we're welcoming as a whole, I hope as a whole, there are delay mechanisms that not many people talk about. This is practically why I talk about this every day. So hopefully it can help you take action. Now, Anu, to answer your question as directly as possible, okay, whether it's visa denial, visa refusal, on the government website, ceac.state.gov, which I'm sure many of you are very familiar with. And I put that in there. You put in your case number with NVC, which, by the way, your case number is not the same as your receipt number with your petition, I-130 or I-140. It's completely different. Okay. Whether it says visa refusal or visa denial, you still need to take action. Of course, speak with a lawyer, and that is at least that one first action. Speak with a lawyer that handles mandamus lawsuits, okay, to see if they can file a lawsuit. I'm not advocating that every single person file a lawsuit. You might actually be not eligible, like in this second scenario that they mentioned. Okay. Even if they do have all information, but they're not qualified for the application. Okay. And that could be very frustrating for you because maybe you hired a lawyer or a notarial consultant, a paralegal who's not associated with a lawyer or a law firm. That happens more often with immigration law. I don't know why, because people think just, they just think it's just paperwork. It's not just paperwork, because it's pretty condescending to my profession if that's what people think. Um, You're saying, "Oh no, we received an email. Please send the passport. Passport came back blank. Your husband sent mine with his, and in-laws were against it." I don't know what you mean by in-laws were against it. This sounds like a different story now. But hopefully, sounds like you're still outside the US, Anu. Let me know. Um, you change employers. Well, I'm glad you were able to change employers. But changing employer is not really the solution. It's the law. It's filing the lawsuit, okay? Because there clearly is something in your background that they just don't like for whatever reason. That doesn't mean you should be blocked. Essentially, oh, okay, interesting. They might have spoken to your in-laws and returned it. Okay, I think I'm confused. If there's a solution we can help you with, Anu, you're welcome to give us a call or fill out the form down below on our website, greencardguys.com. But yeah, hopefully you're able to come into America if you still have a chance. So yeah, I mean, some people I have heard about changing employers, thinking that maybe changing employers on H-1B is one way to get around this 221G. That you don't. If that's the case, you wouldn't. Of course, you wouldn't have to wait for the next H-1B visa lottery, or they don't call it lottery, but it really is. They call it registration now. But that's you don't have to wait for March lottery registration unless um, unless you were sponsored by like a nonprofit or educational institution. But anyway, long story short, you need to take action. Okay, really, the ideal action, the worst case scenario option is filing a lawsuit. And unfortunately, yeah, there are people suffering these delays and or visa refusal. Okay, now here's the deal: you need to find out. Okay, if it says okay, Anu, you're saying at Indian consulate, you don't have an EAC number, nothing to track. Uh, it's not the EAC number. EAC is commonly associated with the petition or the receipt notice that's associated with USCIS. I'm talking about the NVC number, the letter NVC. Okay, I'll put in the comments here. So hopefully that can help. So even if it's been a long time for you, Anu, for example, I mean, I wouldn't say it just depends, but and especially if you're working for the same company and you're still delayed, yeah, you might want to consider chatting with us because, especially when your employer. Imagine if the situation was before the pandemic, uh, and employers in America weren't really allowing remote work. Of course, some do, but now that the pandemic, we're like getting off the pandemic. That more companies are open to remote work, but at the end of the day, they they paid immigration fees so that you could be here in the U.S. So it would just make more sense that action is taken. Now, unfortunately, a lot of employers are not familiar with mandamus, and they just don't want to pay more fees. So that's why even if you're an H-1B applicant or some other visa, non-immigrant visa that is sponsored by an employer, I mean, I always ask people in the consultation, maybe ask if your employer would be open to paying for these attorney's fees, but most are not open to that, unfortunately. So that's just a realistic situation. Okay, so but anyway, go to our website, greencardguys.com, and scroll down and click on a free guide that talks about this. Maybe that could help. We like to share information, a bunch of information. That's why we go live every day, Monday through Friday, if possible, except yesterday. Sorry about that. Um, so anyway, you can get information there, and no rush. I mean, you've already been waiting all this much time, but if there's a way we can help you, we're happy, or just chat with you. We're happy to look at that. Okay. Hey, Roll, you're you applied for GC last year. Case remains pending because a visa number is not available to USCIS. I just realized I have to wait because final action date is still behind. Yeah, so that makes me believe you maybe are F2A if you got sponsored by a spouse, resident spouse, LPR, or maybe some other way. Maybe F1 through your one of your U.S. citizen parents. But yeah, you need to check that. So you need to refer to the visa bulletin. Okay, so I'm going to drop this website in here. A rule if you're still on F2B, okay. And what's your priority date? In which country? Maybe I can check it real quick for you. Okay, I'm trying to make this as large as possible. Okay, there we go. So it has a current visa bulletin that they're actively on, and they give you an idea for the upcoming one. So we'll just go look at current right now. But yeah, typically, if you're not familiar with the preference categories, it's for family based and employment based. Yeah, you're okay. June 29th, 2016 is what you wrote there. You're relying on dates. Okay, so yeah, we have several people in role. I don't know if you want to share, but I'm assuming role. Are you in the U.S.? Let us know if you're in the U.S. because that would affect my advice, my information. Of course, I'm not technically allowed to share legal advice because at the end of the day, you need to consult with an attorney one on one. But this is just us share information so that we can point you in the right direction. Okay. So anyway, I'm okay. I think I see. Yeah, you're adjusting on 485. Okay. So let me share my screen again. So roll. I hope you don't have to share this part or this answer to this question, but I hope you have been maintaining your status. Now, if you have not, because most people don't when they're going through this family preference situation, and most people don't, not because they don't want to, it's because if you have the opportunity to get F1 status, it's freaking expensive. So, an F1 is for student visa, and it's expensive because these colleges, universities charge a buttload of money for international, tuition. So, yeah, it's, anything unfortunately related to the government. It's all about the money. Okay. So anyway, sharing the screen here. Yeah, there's two charts. Usually we look at the chart B first, and you say your F2B and which country? I don't know if you shared that, but assuming, not China, not India, not Mexico or the Philippines of your country and nationality, but the earliest one is January 2017 anyway, and yours is 2016. So I don't know. Are you out of Mexico or Philippines? I'm sorry, not out of, but your country of nationality. Okay. Well, as I'm waiting, if you're still on, I'm waiting on that answer. But yeah, yeah, you can take action before then. All right, for that one. But you can't rely. Yeah, you can't rely on chart A because if you have a date that's before this, then you're SOL. Okay, you're out of luck. All right, because you don't want to wait. If it's, let's say it's like 2014 on this one here, F2B and the final action, then like your visa's lost. You got to restart the process. So that's why it's like freaking playing this. I don't want to call it like a mathematical game, but having all these freaking charts, it can be overwhelming. So that's why we talk about this almost like every other day. And we do have a video out there on our channel. The thumbnail at least says Visa Bulletin, I'm pretty sure. I need to keep track of that better. Anu, I'll get right back to you. Okay, roll your Honduras. You apply, but since final action date is not current, you have to wait. Yeah, so yeah, well, not it's because you're, let's see, what am I looking at here? Okay, so to clarify, applicants for immigrant visas who have a prior date earlier than the application date in the chart below may start assembling and submit required documents to National Visa Center. Of course, if you're here in the US, Raul, right? Well, you are because you said you filed 485 here. Then you have to maintain status. I It doesn't have to show current like the letter C, Raul. Okay, but are we looking at this one? Okay. You said you filed it. You said you filed it? Okay. 2017. Okay, that's interesting. F2B. 2016, I'm sorry, is what you said. Okay. Yeah, so it's ready for you to take action on this one. Okay, January 2017, yours 16. Okay, so I'm interested. Let me know. Contact our office. Even though you filed already, you don't need our help necessarily, but we're happy to take a look at it because here, if action A, yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. It doesn't say this one doesn't say, yeah, that's why I'm saying it's complex. You got to look at both. But if, yeah, since this one's still waiting, um, hopefully, hopefully, Raul, they don't close out your case. If anything, maybe administratively closed, and then when you reach and check this out, okay, and this one shows like it most likely won't ever show current. The only one that's ever showed current was F2A, but when it reaches yours, June 2016, which I see right here, then then yeah, reopen that case. Okay, take action on that. Hopefully, hopefully, if anything, they administratively closed it. Okay, worst case scenario, and did not. And when I say they, I mean USCIS. But here's the thing, Raul, that I hope you're not in, but a lot of other people are. We receive calls like this, is that if they're waiting on a family-based preference, we're happy that the petition's been approved. Now you're so close to the priority date reaching. You've reached at least the chart B. Now you're waiting for chart A, just like you are right now, for the visa to be available. And then you realize you applied, USCIS makes a decision. You've had the interview, you get the decision in the mail, or even at the interview, the officer says, well, you're not eligible. And you're wondering why. And even if the officer doesn't take time to explain, they will definitely on the letter. I would hope so. Fingers crossed. Okay. But I can give you the answer now. Okay. So hopefully, Raul, hopefully you're not in a situation. But if you are in a situation where you have failed to maintain status, meaning okay, great. Okay, great. I see that you do. But for those that don't have overstayed their visa and failure to maintain status, you need to apply for waiver. Now, you might not be eligible for waiver, so you want to check that out. Okay, we have a video I think last week or somewhere on our Green Card Guys.tv. Check that out because you need to know if number one, you need to know if you need a waiver. Number two, if you do need a waiver, do you qualify to even apply in the first place? We call that eligible. Okay. And let's see here. Rule. One more tip for you. Hopefully you're still on. And that is okay. You said you have TPS and adjusting via 245I. Okay, great. Whew, wonderful. Which long story short, if folks don't know what 245I, it's an old law that's grandfathered provision grandfathered into a law by President Bill Clinton is like, I think the only good thing he did for immigration, from what I know. And I was not a lawyer back then, not in 1994 or 96. But anyway, uh, of course, we still need to know a lot of history about immigration, even as before we became a lawyer. So 245I is for folks who had a petition filed by another family member, eligible family member, as a sponsor before April 30th, 2001. And that means you don't have to leave the United States for the visa or the residency. Okay. So let me go to Anu. Then I'll get to you to Faisal. Um, okay, Anu, you said last entry was in 2012. Do I need to go all the way back to 2012 to check for 180 days of overstay accumulation or only until successful H4 approval with I-94 attached? Okay, this is a great question. Love all questions. I really appreciate it. And so, by the way, if you are watching this after the live show, you're still welcome to comment or post a question as a comment, and our team or even myself will try to get back to you sooner than later. We really try to reply within a week or less. Um, but the best thing, really, if you do have a question, if we're not able to reply to you in a timely manner, give us a call or schedule it down below. All right. And so, of course, you still need to talk with us one on one or another lawyer. But in general, when anyone overstays their visa and then leave, and let's say in this example, at least 180 days, let's just say it's 181 days. So it's less than 365 days, and you leave, even if it's 1 foot in Canada, 1 foot in Mexico. that's going to trigger the unlawful presence bar of 3 years. Okay. Now, if you have overstayed by 365 days or more, 366, and put one foot in Mexico or Canada, okay, at the international border, you're just going to trigger the unlawful presence bar of 10 years, folks. 10 years. Now, what does that mean? What can you go around that? Is there a way around these bars? Yes. You can apply. There's two ways. You can apply for a waiver. If you don't want to wait that full amount of time, whether it's 3-year bar or 10-year bar, sometimes there's a 5-year bar for other reasons. Um, but if you already waited that amount of time, which it seems like it, because I know you said your last entry was in 2012. I don't know when you left though. I guess you left in 2012 as well. Then it's been way past that, right? Now it's what? It's been 10 years, if my math is correct, almost 11 years. So, um, and I'm assuming you said you've only triggered the 180-day bar. So that means 3-year bar. So you're good on that. But even if you trigger the 365-day bar, sorry, speak a little fast, then triggering the 10-year bar, then it seems like you're pretty close to it, maybe. So hopefully that's a great question because, yeah, we wouldn't want to file a mandamus lawsuit and then the government says, well, you still got this 10-year bar or 3-year bar. So, yeah, hopefully you're clear on that. It seems like it, but check your dates, okay? So yeah, you can either apply for a waiver if it's less than a time and you have not waited that 3 or 10 years, or number two, if it's after that time period of the bar, then you just wait it out. That's the second option. Okay. Let's see. Anu, you're welcome. Happy to help. Let's see. Faisal. Okay. What is the meaning after required documents submitted last date updated? Okay, so for example, we've seen that after people, I think I understand what you're meaning, Faisal, and I think you commented, was it you that commented a couple weeks ago that you're still waiting at least 1 year? Okay, you need to take action, sir. Okay, I'm sorry. I associate Faisal with a male name. I could be wrong, but anyway, Faisal, I apologize if I was wrong. But in this situation, you need to take action. Call a lawyer, okay? Because when let's say it's last updated, let's say your first interview was today's November 16th, and it got updated November 15th, and it says visa refusal still, visa refused still, even after you provide those documents. That means they've already, and you provide documents before that update, then that means your documents were not sufficient, in their opinion. Now, we could disagree with them. Okay, that happens, unfortunately, that the government somehow disagrees with the documents we provided them. And then that's when you definitely need to file a lawsuit. Okay. It's not always about the unreasonable delay, is what we call it. It can be arbitrary and capricious. Okay. The decision of visa refusal. Because if you don't file a lawsuit, and especially if you're in a family preference category, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to refile the entire case. So why would you want to do that? It's better to file a lawsuit. Of course, can't say for every single one of you. Any attorney would have to review it and make sure and assess. It's kind of like when people ask, well, should my marriage case was for a residency was denied. Should I refile it or appeal it? You should refile it. Okay. Well, default is refile. Of course, you still need a lawyer. This is where that legal advice come in and could be handy in a consultation, is that they can look at the notice and read the actual reason why it was denied. Because if it says something like finding of a marriage fraud, then you need to appeal. But the default reason to refile in general in that scenario is because there is no timetable for appeals or motion to reconsider when it comes to that. Now, back to mandamus for unreasonable delay. Faisal, your second question, if mandamus lawsuit, embassy decision denied, then you guys challenge that decision in immigration court. So how long will that challenge decision? And I pay you more if Okay, no, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay us more. Okay, you just pay the same fee that everyone else does, which actually Faisal and anyone else is interested in hiring our services. You know, we welcome that, but of course, on this show, we're just helping you with the mindset. Don't wait. Okay, when you really deserve status, you applied for it, you paid the fees, you need to take action. We're here to share information, but we do offer three membership plans: Light, Pro, and Max. For mandamus, we file the case. We try our best to file the case in 72 hours. Okay. The complaint to federal court. Now, it's not actually called immigration court. This is federal district court. And there's so many across the country. And we can't just pick and choose. Unfortunately, we have to pick the one where, let's say, in this situation, I see your second comment. You have a fiance that's been waiting for you, your loved one. So we file based on where she lives, or he or she lives. Okay. So yeah, your K1 category, you've been waiting 14 months after on your case after put on, oh my goodness, administrative processing. Yeah, this is very frustrating, Faisal. So, um, I don't know if this makes you feel better, but you're not the only one. There's like thousands of people, unfortunately, suffering these delays, these unfortunate decisions by the visa officers. So who knows? They may legitimately have a reason to put your case in admin processing, or 221G, give you that notice, or just put visa refused. But at the end of the day, you need to speak with a lawyer one on one, speak with a legal team, and speak to one that handles this, okay? That proactively, um, handles this information. Now, if someone says, "Hey, Team Law Group, do you handle H2B, or do you handle what's this one like people ask about sometimes, like J1 au pair?" We don't help with that right now. Okay, that's not part of our service, our line of service at this time. Okay, so speak to a lawyer that has experience in this, or even if it's not me, there's plenty of us that help across the country. I'm just here to share information and get you to that next step because you deserve status. Now, folks, I just realized I went over 30 minutes, but here's these. Thanks for sticking with me. There's just so much information to share. You've been so patient. Let me share how to contact us. Okay, other than the phone number, you can go to our website, greencardguys.com, click on contact us, scroll down, take a quiz, answer a few questions. Well, that will let our cares team know, if you qualify for our services, because there's so many people that call us and submit a form. Um, it might take us a little longer, but our cares team really try their best within 24 hours. But folks, if you are abroad and you are trying to contact us, the best way to do that, if you fill that out and you're wondering, how to do that, we have a WhatsApp number. Okay, check it out. Here it is. Oop, here it is. Okay, because the number below that's scrolling down below, it's our WhatsApp number. It's not the one that's above. Okay, it's not the 720 number. 720 number is for people who are in the US. WhatsApp is numbers down below, and so check that out. And so you need a WhatsApp is a bit funky, by the way. So you have to contact us. We can't contact you randomly. I don't know. I get a lot of spam messages. So anyway, the best thing to do, because we receive the form and sometimes people don't self schedule an appointment. So which, by the way, after you click that form and fill it out, click submit, it will take you to the self schedule page to set up an appointment. All right. So we make it easy for you, because why wait? Why especially if you're not, you try to call us after hours. We receive calls after hours, so I feel bad, but the best way, really, especially if you're abroad, is fill out the form online. And we just unfortunately don't have someone to work 24 hours a day or change a shift out. But I feel like it's hockey. If you appreciate hockey and understand that, then you know what I'm talking about. They like nonstop. I feel like immigration law is nonstop like that. um So yeah, if you're abroad anyway, you contact us on WhatsApp and message us there, okay? And let us know, hey, I filled out the form. My name is so and so. I filled out the form. I wasn't able to schedule an appointment, or I did, but you just maybe have a couple more questions. No problem. Or our cares team is happy to help you. I'm not the one that's on WhatsApp, okay? But it's one of our cares team members. And let's see what else to share with you. We do have a Facebook group, okay? Green Card Guys Academy. We're providing more information there. So share knowledge, another opportunity to share knowledge. And let's see here. And the secret code. You've been so patient. Here it is. Green Card Guys is our code down below. Share that with the cares team if you call in. And there's our 5 main benefits of hiring our legal team. I hope you can appreciate that. We're very intentional. I've spoken at conferences about this, how it's important as a lawyer, as a law firm, to provide customer service, client service. Because number one, just like you pay any other company, I mean, I don't want to reduce us to like a phone service, but you need to be updated about your case. No, we're not perfect. We try our best, and we're always trying to improve. But I want to let you know we're very intentional about providing the best customer service out there as a law firm in America. Now, there could be, I'm sure there's a couple others better than us in terms of that, but I would say we're one of the premier immigration law firms about customer service and about results. Okay. If you have any questions, give us a call or again on WhatsApp or contact us on the website. Okay, friends. Thank you so much and have a great day. See you tomorrow.